Really?
Baby.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Dallas fans don't know what these are.
Gets it, Saquon Barkley, first down, Barkley, Saquon! E-A-G-L-E-S-G!
Covers, baby.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 15 of Under the Wing podcast. And this week, we begin the fourth quarter of the NFL season. So, we're going to dive into it. We're going to talk about the Turkey Day Classics, the games that happened last weekend. It was Thanksgiving weekend. Not much to be thankful for if you're an Eagles fan, besides the fact that you're still alive. But that's besides the point. Big games this weekend, a lot of playoff implications, and then we're going to dive later on in the show, dive into what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. Is it Kevin Patullo? Is it Jalen Hurts? Who knows? And then this kid over here, he's got a question for you like always. I'll give you a bold take. But without any other further ado, we do have a guest tonight. We have two, and only one of them is here right now. So without further ado, Mr. Chaos Chris.
Chaos Chris in the house.
Grant
How are you doing tonight, Chris?
I hate Grant Calcaterra. I think he's the problem with the Eagles.
You said Grant Calcaterra is the problem with the Eagles?
Yeah, he can't block worth a fucking damn. And they put him out there 10 out of 12 times he's out there is on run plays. Why? He can't fucking run block, and he can't catch either.
What about the play where it looked like Dallas Goedert didn't know what in the heck he was doing on
That was
Friday?
Grant Calcaterra's fault. It was really Grant Calcaterra who was supposed to block, and he didn't want to block. So it's all his fault. I think that Grant Calcaterra should be cut right now. We need Jack Stoll back. I know Jack Stoll wasn't that good, but he can block. They need a blocker.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's get right into it. We'll talk about the Eagles in a little bit. But first, let's talk about the other Week 13 games. Because it was Thanksgiving, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, like other than Dallas winning, I really didn't have any issue with the other two teams that won. But we're not even going to talk about Dallas because we don't like them. So Dallas won. Congrats. Good for them. Short-lived. We'll talk about them in a little bit once we get a little closer to previewing this week's matchups. But the first game I did want to talk about was the first game on Thursday, and that was the Packers at the Lions. Jordan Love with another Thanksgiving instant classic. Jordan Love came out and balled out last week, and the Packers looked unbeatable. And that's the second time they've done that against the Lions this year. Is Jordan Love legit, or is he just really good against the Lions?
I don't think of – I don't know. Jordan Love to me is like he's good, but he's not like that next tier where I'm like, okay, he can really carry a team. I feel like his ceiling really is like maybe an NFC Championship appearance. But like you noticed it against the Eagles last year. I thought like, you know, they should have put up a better fight against the Eagles than they did. And he just looked like complete shit. You can't even mention, cold weather quarter. He plays in cold weather, so that shouldn't have a factor. So I don't think Jordan Love is all that good. I think he's fine. Like he's gonna put up stats here and there, but when it comes down to like clutch time, it's just meh.
Well, let's ask our second guest who just joined, KJ. KJ, what do you think? Do you think Jordan Love is him, or do you think he's just really good against the Lions?
He's just really good against the Lions. I mean, I agree with Chris. I think he is definitely one of those overrated quarterbacks. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, you guys have an overrated quarterback too. But, I mean, it's like our quarterback's actually done something. So, I mean, that's the difference. He's been to a Super Bowl, and he won a Super Bowl as well. So, I think definitely, I mean, Jordan Love, I think just like with the team around him, gets a lot of lift up, I guess you can say. But, I mean, at the same time, though, his wide receiving core does suck. So I mean, it doesn't seem like he really has too many options in general.
Yeah.
So
They
the
drafted
second,
so many receivers for him.
the second
They
thing we
tried to,
saw,
but they're not good.
Is
The second-
is it the quarterback or is it the receivers?
I mean, that's
Up
true because
that.
we've seen production from Christian Watson. I mean, he was kind of like a waiver warrior last year on fantasy football, so we know that he can get traction. But I don't know if it's necessarily a Jordan Love issue because he's good enough to where you'll be able to realize that your wide receivers are elite. I'm not saying that maybe they're elite or not, but you understand my point.
now we did see Amon-Ra St. Brown go down for the Lions. Is this something that you guys might think? The Lions, obviously, their offense is really good, and Jahmyr Gibbs is one heck of a player. But in the passing game, it seemed like they almost struggled because once the Packers realized that all they had to do was take away Jamison Williams, which they did somewhat. They didn't do perfectly, but once they took him away, then they weren't really able to do anything on offense. Like the run game kind of got sputtered because clearly that's what Detroit wants to do. They want to start by running the rock, and then they want to turn it into play action. But losing Amon-Ra so early in the game, they got down 10 points, and every drive, every possession was just an uphill battle. It was get back within 3, touchdown, Packers. Get back within 3, touchdown, Packers. Down 10, get back within 3. And then at the very end of the game, they get back within 7, and that's as close as they could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff is kind of showing who he really is. Like he's just not. He's never going to be that next tier either. Like he's fine as a quarterback, but he's never going to wind up winning that big time game you need him to win. I mean, we saw it. That's why the Rams traded him. He's never going to be anything beyond what he is, and he's fine. He's definitely an NFL starting quarterback. Borderline top 10, I'd say, maybe even a little bit better, but he's just not that upper tier that can will you the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, he's got good receivers over there, Jamison Williams and Amon St. Brown. But Chris is exactly right. I mean, they trade him for Matthew Stafford, and then Stafford, who really had no success really in the playoffs in the postseason with the Lions, kind of showed that really like the Lions were holding him back from succeeding. And I mean, you saw that when they won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 50, I think it was 55, I think it was. Was that 55? I think it was.
It is one of them.
Yeah,
You're in the vicinity.
Okay, it's 55. Yeah, so he won that Super Bowl, so he kind of proved the Lions wrong. So, but I think with Jared Goff, it's just you have what you have with him, and he has brought the Lions to he's brought them to better times right now. I'll tell you that. Definitely better times than what they had with Stafford. So I think they're getting what they're getting with Jared Goff. But I don't know if it means Super Bowl, but just have to wait and see. I mean, it really depends.
If they had Stafford on this version of the Lions right now, do you think they're a Super Bowl team?
That's a good question.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Stafford's definitely better than Goff for sure.
And you know what's crazy to think about that too, Chris? That how much they held him back, really. Like they could have actually built some talent around him. And I mean, they, for God's sakes, they even had Megatron at one point, and they still couldn't get it done. So I mean,
Merry
it's just
Christmas, Dennis.
crazy.
We love you.
It's crazy to see how the Rams were able to win a Super Bowl with Stafford, and the Lions couldn't get anywhere close to anything like that when Stafford was there.
Yeah.
It's one of those win-win trades, though.
Yeah.
Like both teams got better after that trade.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like even if Stafford retires after 5 more successful years, he's going to get kind of undermined, I feel. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to get washed away with, Patrick Mahomes at that time and all these other quarterbacks. He's going to be like somebody the Rams know, but nobody else. And it's like,
Any response, KJ?
My mustache has more hair than Dennis has on his head.
Oh!
For those of you who may be only listening, Dennis said, "KJ, you suck. Your mustache is crooked."
Well,
Yeah, well, Dennis, my mustache, I have more freaking hair under my lip than your head does. So,
How about you ask his mom how she feels about it?
what?
Huh? Chris is
anyway,
Wait,
moving
who
on.
is-
You know who has a sucky mustache? Aaron Rodgers. You know who has a sucky football team? The Steelers.
Come on, Aaron
And
Rodgers.
No,
He's
the
mauled,
Bills.
bro. He's literally mauled.
The Bills got beat, or the Bills beat the Steelers. I'm sorry, 26-7, and it wasn't even close. Like the Steelers are complete fall off. Like, can they fix the sinking ship? Like, or are they just completely sunk?
Were they ever really like?
They were like 4-2 at one point, I think. I don't know.
Like, but this is
5-1
what the
maybe?
Steelers are like every year now. Like they're
And they're going to go 9-8. Mike Tomlin's
they're
gonna keep his
just
job.
over 500.
That's the whole
Mike
point of the
Tomlin
show.
might get his 9-8 season again and be all happy and
I feel like Mike Tomlin's the only one keeping this this boat afloat. You know what I mean? Like,
Bills are back to being the Bills we thought they were going to be. That's right.
But is keeping this boat afloat like they have been actually helping the team?
no.
Or do they really need to, actually take a year, get a top 5 pick, and really get a real quarterback? Not that
No,
Aaron
why would
Rodgers
they
has
do
been
that?
terrible, but like
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you know how much rich history they have as a franchise?
they were great. They were great, but they haven't been great for a long time, and they need a real quarterback. They've gone on with this.
But
this
Chris,
backwards for-
they have 7 rings, Chris. Don't you know that?
Chris,
They're so much better than
six.
everybody.
I thought they have 6. Isn't it Stairway to 7
It's 6.
still?
It's not 7.
I've been hearing Stairway to 7
And there's the
for about
negatory
15 years
Dennis
of my
comment.
lifetime.
That's
the what?
expected. The negatory Dennis comment.
They will be 9-8. The Eagles are going to be 1-5 to finish the season, losing the wild card.
And Dennis, this is why you suck.
All right, let's see. Let's see if Sidney Brown can
we're
keep
gonna
this
talk-
defense afloat.
we'll talk about the
Sidney
Eagles in a
Brown
little bit.
is the next Brian Dawkins. I don't want to hear it.
The next
Yeah,
Brian
Sidney
Dawkins,
Brown, the
Sidney
next
Brown.
Brian Dawkins, freaking Kayvon Wallace, the next Brian Dawkins. I hear it all the time.
I feel like Sidney Brown's the kind of guy who switches all of his stats to 99 in Madden just to play himself. How about that? This team is done, dude. All right.
But
All right,
moving on,
Dennis.
a big AFC South matchup last week. The Texans beat the Colts, and the Colts, after starting 7-1, have gone 1-2 over their last 3. They're now 8-4. Did the Colts get too hot early? Were the Colts doing too much at the beginning of the year, or is this what they were and they were just playing an easy schedule and they're just frauds? And Daniel Jones, give credit to him. Daniel Jones played with, I think it was a fractured fibia this weekend, so he did leave it all out there on the field. But the Texans defense has really been stepping up lately. But is it the Texans defense is getting really, really good and they're really good, or is it the Colts are actually frauds?
I mean, the Texans team, they just have a good defense. I mean, it's well rounded. You got young guys,
Go
old guys,
Birds,
and they've just been looking really good. I mean, they
Colts,
proved
enough
themselves
said.
against previous teams as well. So I don't think it's just, I don't think it's just the Colts, because at the end of the day, they shut down for the most part. They shut down JT, it seemed. So it was like, I'm not gonna say it was just the Colts being the Colts. I mean, the Colts have a good record for a reason, and the Texans, they have a good looking defense.
I think it's a mix of both of those. Like I think the Colts obviously aren't playing as good as they were earlier in the year. They're starting to figure out some things, how to stop Jonathan Taylor a little bit. Daniel Jones is going back to Daniel Jones a little bit. But the Texans defense is really, really good too. I feel like the Texans are one of those teams that can like shock some teams and, wind up just dominating on defense and getting by on offense where they can win a couple playoff games. We'll see as the year goes on, but that defense can win you a playoff game very easily.
Yeah, that team is a very sneaky team. I agree with that. I watched the last part of that game, and definitely at the end of the game, they said when Jonathan Taylor does not score a touchdown, the Colts usually lose. But then, I mean, also like the way that the Texans were playing, I mean, the bully ball they were playing, and you could just see. And it's funny that people keep on saying, "Oh, well, the Eagles give up on their team." I heard some boos at the Indianapolis Colts game too. I heard some boos there. So it's funny that people like to put just a narrative on us when the Colts fans were just doing the same goddamn thing.
Look, dude, we're Philadelphia. They hate us. All right,
Dude,
it's gonna be that way.
Well, no, I know how it is. Trust me, I know how it is. I'm
Yeah.
just saying with that part, it's just
It do be frustrating too.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I get it, but it's like, yeah, I mean, that Texans defense is a young, they're pretty good young defense for sure. So I wouldn't sleep on them.
Oh, not at all.
Well, we got the Rams losing this week. The Rams lost to the Panthers 31-28 in what was probably the best game of all last week. Bryce Young looked solid. The Panthers looked solid. Could the Panthers be a team that they could either sneak in the playoffs as a wild card because they're the 10th team technically in the wild card race, so 3 teams back at the last wild card spot, or if the Buccaneers happen to fall off a cliff like they have been, they could potentially, in a couple weeks, meet up with the Buccaneers, beat the Buccaneers, and take that NFC South spot. Do the Carolina Panthers have it in them? Or are the Panthers just a frisky team that, at 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad? Because we've seen them beat the Packers, seen them beat the Rams, but at the same time they got blown out by the Falcons or something. So, and they lost to the Saints. So it's like, are they good or are they bad?
Yeah, I think they're one of those in between.
They
8,
could
9, 9 and 8, maybe make it, but I don't think they're all that good.
They could just be like one of them clutch teams, you know what I mean? Like they only win when they're least expected to. They have to be the underdog, or else they go in too cocky and they lose the game. The Carolina Panthers don't have an excellent roster. They have talent, and it definitely if they play a little lazy on offense because we're playing the Saints, we're playing the Falcons. If they kind of slack off a little bit, they're not going to be able to slow down the momentum because they aren't like an elite offense and elite defense, but they have good talent. I've been saying, Bryce Young, and I said it last year, like people hating on Bryce Young. I'm like, you can't have a rookie quarterback come in here, have no weapons, no offensive line, nobody, and be like, this kid stinks. Like Cam Ward. Cam Ward might be a dog, and we just don't know it yet. I mean, who the heck is he going to even throw the ball to? You've seen this kind of stuff happen with other guys. I mean, Sam Darnold is like, the more weapons he gets, the better he looks. I don't think he's elite, of course, but I think it was the same thing with Bryce Young. I'm not saying he's going to be good. I'm just saying that you're not going to look at him first year on the terrible Panthers. And now that he's starting to get these weapons, starting to get a running back, McMillan, McMillan, right? He's starting to get these players around him, and he's starting to perform.
Go Birds.
So I think they're just, they're just one of them clutch teams.
Okay.
Yeah, and we all thought that Bryce Young was a certified bust last year. People were calling for his job and everything like that. But, I mean, you can see now if you just get the right talent around him, he can succeed. So, I mean, I do feel like Bryce Young, definitely give him some time. I do feel like, though, that division is always wide open.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to win the division. It's always a really bad division in general. I mean, the NFC South is just the bottom feeders of the NFL. They always are. So, I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Right-handed Tua.
Yeah. The last game I wanted to get to from last week is the Broncos-Commanders game. Actually, for what it was a pretty good game. And unfortunately, I didn't want to stay up and watch it, but I ended up staying up and watching it, and I paid for it Monday morning when I was a little late for work. But it was a good game up until the very last play. But the biggest question I derived from that game was, how long can the Broncos keep doing this? Because it's not like the Broncos are coming out and dominating. Like, the Broncos kept them in the game the whole time. The Broncos went down the field in overtime, score a touchdown, and then really, if not for a holding call that really wasn't a horrible holding call, they would have gave up a touchdown on the play before the actual touchdown. So it's just, like the Broncos, I think it was something I saw, like their last 3 wins have been by a combined 10 points. So they're winning. And I feel like it's a little bit like the conversation we had in 2023 with the Eagles. I know it's not as bad, but like you can't keep winning this way and expect to win when it comes to January. Like when they play a team like the Buffalo Bills, or, if they play a little better of a team like, I don't know, the Patriots, for example, who are really, really good and really, really physical, are they going to be able to sustain the winning, or is it going to come back to bite them? Exactly. Like Jesse said here, it's in Philly Sports Pulse, like every win has been almost a walk-off field goal, perhaps.
Yeah. Again, and I said this earlier, and it keeps proving itself. Bo Nix is like, this year so far, it's been like he can only perform in the fourth quarter. Like he looks and he's like, oh crap, I got to lock in. And then he finally focuses on the game. Like he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It just seems like he looks at how much time's left and he's like, oh man. And he's coming by the skin of his teeth. I don't think the Broncos are gonna be able to do this forever. I think maybe they go into the playoffs, maybe even see an AFC championship, and then they're just gonna get schooled. I mean, they're not. They're good. Don't get me wrong. Like they have the record that they have, and they're not only playing schmuck teams. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah, I think they're a team that can hang in there against anybody. I just don't know if they're going to have what it takes to finish. I also feel like they're a team that's kind of like ahead of schedule, if that makes sense. But I just don't see them being all that good. The Commanders worry me a little bit, though, getting healthy. Like, I was thinking, a couple weeks ago, that's going to be an easy couple games there that we can wind up, getting free wins out of. And then all of a sudden, just they look like they're getting healthy and they look a little bit better. They're not going to be easy games whatsoever anymore. So kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah, and they're going to be definitely ticked off that they got knocked out of the playoffs already. They got knocked out of the postseason. And really it has to do with I feel like a lot of injuries really played a part. Them not having Jaden Daniels this season, most of the season, really hurt them. And you could see just in general how much the team morale was just not there with the Commanders.
Yeah.
So I feel like definitely they're going to have some kind of vengeance, even though they're officially eliminated. They have nothing to win for at all. But I think definitely if you got guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a guy who's been on 2 different teams, he's been released by them since the Eagles' offense is easy to read. That might be easy for a team like the Commanders, who are trying to they're hungry just for a win, and they don't even need to get the win. So I think that's definitely something else. I mean, it definitely is something with it. But yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles definitely got to win some of these upcoming games, and especially when they play the Commanders, you can't lose these guys. You just can't. Especially if they don't have Jaden Daniels, you definitely don't have an excuse. You definitely don't.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all we got for week 13. Let's step into week 14. I'm going to just kind of go over a couple games, and then we'll kind of dive into like the playoff implications for them. So starting off on Thursday night, you've got the Cowboys going to Detroit to play the Lions. Kind of customary every year now at this point because they both play the Thursday before, so they end up kind of playing one of them. At least one of them plays the next Thursday. And then that's Thursday night. Then Steelers at Ravens on Sunday at 1:00. That's a division game. Winner of that will be ahead in the AFC North. And then as well as the Colts and the Jaguars Sunday at 1. So 2 big 1 p.m. slate games for the division leads. The AFC North and then the AFC South, which are two completely wide open divisions because a game that happens actually Sunday night, you have the Texans and the Chiefs. And if the Texans win, they'll be 8-5, and they'll be right back in the mix for the top of the AFC South. Then you got 4:25 on Sunday, big game. The Bears going to Lambeau Field to play the Packers. That's going to be huge. That is like right now it's those two for the NFC North, the NFC. Like that is a huge game because you've got the Bears, the number 1 seed right now, and the Packers with that tie. If they end up like, what is it? It would be 13-3-1, and there's a team that's, anything less than that, then yeah, you're beat. Like 13-4, nope. You're not going to be the 1 seed. You'll be the 2 seed behind them, which the Eagles, unfortunately, they're not going to be 13-4. They'll probably be lower than that. But and then last one I had is the Eagles go to the Chargers. That's big for both sides. The Chargers are trying to stay alive in the AFC hunt. I don't know if they can really stay alive as far as the AFC West is considered, but if I had to say it's a must-win game for the Eagles just to keep their division, like their foot on the division.
Yeah.
It's funny how like 2 weeks ago we were all talking about, the Eagles are going to win the division by Thanksgiving. It's going to be great. And they've lost back-to-back games, and Dallas has won back-to-back games. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, they're a game and a half behind thanks to their tie. So it's really important. But just a quick kind of rundown of the playoff standings. So in the AFC, this week you got the Patriots. They're number 1 seed. They're on a bye week, so they're safe. They're locked in at 11-2 for another week. The Broncos go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders right now. They're 10-2. They're the number 2 seed. The Jaguars, like I said, they're hosting the Colts. They're 8-4 right now. They're winning that division. They're atop the AFC South. They're the number 3 seed in the AFC. Then the Baltimore Ravens, from 1-5, they're now 6-6, and they are the number 4 seed in the AFC. They're leading their division, and a big game, like we said, the Steelers. They host them. That'll be huge. Then the 5th seed is the Chargers. They host the Eagles this week. Then you got the Colts at 8-4. They're the 6th seed. They play the Jaguars, so those two could flip-flop. And then 8-4, wow. Didn't think I'd be saying this year. The Bills are the 7th seed right now. The Bills are on the cusp of not even making the playoffs, and they're 8-4.
That's crazy.
So, that is insane. And then right on the outside, you got the Texans at 7-5, which they could very easily be right back in it this week, especially with the Colts loss. With a Colts loss, they could jump. I think they could jump the Colts. Really, really do. And then the Steelers, they're the 9 seed technically, and with a win against the Ravens, they're right back up at top, 7-6. And then the lowly 10th seed, hanging on for dear life. And if they lose this week, it's going to be tough. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. So looking at the AFC, what do you guys think? Any ideas on what might happen or how things could shake out?
I think Kansas City is going to keep falling apart, and they're going to miss the playoffs.
Oh,
okay. You think that Texans defense we kind of touched on a little bit ago, you think they're going to kind of shut down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs?
I think that Texans defense is going to win them a lot of games this year. I think they're going to – I don't know if they're like AFC championship team, but I could definitely see them winning a wild card game and potentially divisional. But I feel like kind of similar to us, but they've had it a little bit worse than us. The Chiefs are really, really struggling, and it just shows you how hard it is to come back from a Super Bowl appearance. Just they're so you could just see they're so exhausted on the field.
Yeah.
And some of these teams that are fresher that haven't made the playoffs last year or haven't gone that far, just they seem to be playing a lot better.
Now, who do you guys think is going to be the surprise victor of the AFC playoffs? I don't mean who's going to make it to the Super Bowl, but what team out of the 7 is going to be a big surprise or
See, I don't even know if it's a surprise. Yeah. I don't even know if that's a surprise at this point because they've just been playing so well on defense.
No,
But it's almost like
what team?
Texans.
Yeah, probably Texans. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Do you think that the Ravens are gonna hold their ground? I mean, they're coming from being 1-5, but do you think they're gonna be able to hold it up enough?
I don't know. I see because the Steelers are right there with them.
Yeah.
I don't think either of those teams to me really is overly impressive.
Yeah. Even with the return of Lamar Jackson, I mean, they go from 1-5 to 6-6 with once Lamar comes back. Of course, that it was not the prettiest first game of the season, but
yeah,
they're playing well. But
so if we look at it now, like as it sits, if the playoffs were to start today, the Broncos would host the Bills, which is an exact opposite of last year's AFC wildcard playoffs, where the Bills hosted the Broncos as the 2 seed and the 7 seed.
Pretty cool.
So that's pretty cool. And then we would have the number 3 seeded Jags hosting the number 6 seeded Colts. So a divisional matchup. That would be awesome. And then you would have Ravens Chargers, a Harbaugh Bowl in the wild card.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That would be awesome.
Is it just me, or does the AFC just feel weak this year?
Yeah, and it's all
definitely
because the Chiefs aren't in it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, I mean, if we play our first episode back again, a lot of it was the AFC is super powerful, and it's going to be the Eagles dominate the NFC, and all these little NFC teams are just going to be, like, tripping over themselves.
That's gross.
Well, it looks like that these NFC teams are is that they're rolling. The unexpected teams. Nobody – I want to last episode or maybe second to last during the Pro Bowl or something like that, I want to go back with him and go over our predictions from the beginning of the season because it is gone so off the rails crazy. I mean, we thought the AFC was going to be like this absolute dominance in comparison when really it's kind of been the other way around.
Watch the Ravens team versus a watch.
Well, even you look at the NFC, like nobody would ever thought the Commanders were going to be this bad. I thought they were going to take a step back, but that was the hater in me, and they've really just. I mean, Jaden Daniels getting hurt.
Well, yeah, him getting injured is really a big blow.
Their whole momentum because they got the offseason move they thought that was going to change them in Deebo Samuel, and it definitely didn't when Jaden Daniels
Deebo snacks a lot, Samuel.
So,
but like even teams like the Bears came out of nowhere. I didn't think Taylor Williams was going to be this good.
Ben Johnson has done an absolutely outstanding job up there.
Yeah, I hate him.
And what really makes the Bears stand out too is I didn't really think about it much in the offseason, but the Bears really did bolster their offensive line. And the Bears made it a point in the offseason to go out and get veteran after veteran after veteran for the offensive line. And it sucks to say it, but we saw them dominate last week. And they pushed us around like nobody's business. And I'm looking at some of the guys on their offensive line like, oh, he plays for them? He plays? Whoa. They got some dogs on that offensive line. And they're going to be a scary team come January. But we can kind of bounce over to the NFC on that topic. So the Bears would be the 1 seed right now if the playoffs started today. And then the Rams would play the 49ers, so another divisional matchup, 2 versus 7. And then the Eagles would be the 3 seed hosting the Packers again, kind of repeat of last year's wild card. And then we'd have the Bucs hosting the Seahawks. So as far as the NFC is concerned, is it even safe to say that the Eagles are the top team to beat in the NFC anymore?
No, I don't even think the Eagles are 2 at this point. I think they've kind of.
If we can't lock in here, then we're not Super Bowl contenders. The amount of talent on our team and our roster on paper, I genuinely think we are better than any other team that comes against us, and it's not even really close. But there's some issues going on behind the scenes that need to be fixed. And if they're not fixed, then we're not going to see much production before the postseason or postseason.
Well, isn't that new Hard Knocks coming out like tonight or something like that?
Yeah, tonight, actually in like 18 minutes, the first episode premieres on HBO Max. And man, I want to watch it, but at the same time, I don't even know if I want to watch it because like what's it going to cover? Like, I wonder also, like, we'll dive into this in a little bit when we talk about the Eagles, but I'll bring that back up. But kind of wonder if, like, that isn't causing some of the issues that are going on. But
there's a lot of teams that have declined many times to not be on Hard Knocks, and they didn't want it to distract their teams.
Yeah,
I remember. I think the Eagles were asked years ago. I think when Doug Peterson was the coach, and he said, "I don't want it distracting the team," and so he declined it. So I think I don't think that's the problem of what's going on, but I think honestly, from what we're going to see if we do watch Hard Knocks, if you do. I don't think the main problem will be presented. I don't think they will actually show it. I don't know if they'll show little snippets of it either. I don't think they'll give us any hints. I think that was probably off screen. And if it was playing and they were filming that, they're not going to actually make it public. Yeah. So, I mean, there's just no way. There's just no way. Because it's probably a bigger deal than we even know, to be honest.
The one thing I just worry about the Hard Knock stuff is the Philly media is just going to blow everything.
Oh, yeah.
Way out of proportion. They're going to take any little fucking clip and just blow it up. Like, it could be just one little, A.J. Brown gets overthrown in practice and he says, "Oh, come on, man." And it's going to be like, "Oh, he doesn't like Jalen Hurts. It's going to be this. It's going to be that." Like, it's going to just be a complete disaster with the media with this whole Hard Knocks. And that's
TJ.
I think that's
who is TJ?
Maybe he means AJ. He must be AJ.
No, I think it's probably KJ.
KJ Charles wants you to shut up. It's Mooner's friend, by the way, so you got to yell at Mooner for that.
He's an antagonizer, bro. He likes to poke the bear, dude. I'm sorry. He's a Bengals
like the Philly media.
So his opinion
Thanks a lot, Charles. I wasn't even saying that bad.
Yeah. But moving on, we'll dive into the Eagles. What is going on? Who is the problem? So I'll break it down like this. So we started the season off 4-0, had 2 losses after kind of sloppy games, and it was like, okay, you know what? It was bound to happen. We lost a tough one to the Broncos, kind of showed like, okay, the play calling, it's not good. Came out against the Giants, looked flat. Team, terrible execution. Okay, win the next, 4? And here we are again. We've lost 2 straight, but it's been in like really, really concerning fashion because you blow a 21-point lead. You get dominated on the ground at home after your defense has been looking stellar. They get dominated. Your offense looks horrendous. Like when the play calling looked somewhat decent this week, I will say, they looked horrendous. So is Kevin Patullo the problem? Is Jalen Hurts the problem? Is it A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts? Is it Nick Sirianni? Is it just the players not executing? I know Chris wants to say it's Grant Calcaterra, but what is the problem?
Grant Calcaterra.
All right.
He can't fucking block.
Actually, hold on. Before we get into that, I do have a video here for KJ. I actually forgot about this.
Clarify that Kevin still is the play caller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the offense too easy? Predictable? Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
KJ, how are you feeling, big dog?
Yeah, I saw that video. Patullo definitely should have never been in contention for this job at all. But as Chris has said, he has said this as well. It's not all his fault. It really isn't. And the guys on the field right now are in a slump. They're not contributing at all. You can just kind of feel you kind of can feel it in the air right now that something's not going right at all. And apparently, from what I'm hearing, is that Patullo's saying certain things, trying to get certain plays going. Some of the players don't want to deal with those plays. Some of the players don't believe in the plays. And yeah, that's what I think. And it just sucks because obviously you can already see just the disconnect from Patullo and this offense, and they don't respect him. That's what it seems like. So, I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people are freaking out about Patullo. Yes, do I want the guy fired? Yeah. But also, I mean, it's not to a point that you throw eggs or rocks or whatever they threw at his house. It's never to that point. It's just a freaking
Or calling the cops on him.
What's up?
Or calling the cops on him.
Yeah, we're calling the cops on him. It's just not. Yeah. I mean, you could joke around, but like you can't be saying that kind of stuff or actually like your weight of anything. But the cops thing, I didn't know that, Mooner. I had no idea about that cop thing.
Yeah, it was viral on like TikTok.
Okay, maybe I do know
what the Cowboys lost.
But honestly, it's like, dude, it's a game at the end of the day, and you're wasting the cops' time with that. That's even stupid. Not stupider, but it's pretty stupid as well. I don't know which one. I don't know which one is more stupid.
Yeah, which takes the cake.
Box or that one. They're both pretty stupid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think.
No, you got it, Chris.
I think it's really just like a bunch of things combined. I don't think you can blame one person for anything.
All right, fine. You can take my speaking point. That's fine, Chris.
All right, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'll let you talk. Yeah.
I just like it's a combination of all kinds of things. They're not in sync at all. You see Jalen's missing throws, Saquon's missing holes. The offensive line isn't blocking. The receivers look like they're quitting on routes. It's just everything combined, and it's just really, really snowballing.
Yeah.
And they need to find out a way to like slow it down a little bit. I don't think this team is a Super Bowl team by any stretch of the imagination. Can they still be an NFC Championship team? Yes. But they need to figure something out, or else they will get passed by the Cowboys. And it hurts to say, but I think they really could be passed by the Cowboys. If they keep playing like they are, I don't know if there's a team they can beat.
Yeah. And, of course, I mean, you took my point entirely. But the issue I have here is, you can read it right here. Who is the problem? And I don't think there's a definitive person, one person, singular. I think the issue is that, we're not playing tight. There's a bunch of small issues. And when there's a bunch of small issues, they're hard to tackle. They're hard to identify, especially in the middle of a season. It's all a bunch of little small stuff. I think if there was, no matter who you blame, no matter who you think it is, if there was only one person who was the problem, then it would not remotely look as bad as it does right now. If Kevin Patullo was the only problem, then our offense would be running tighter shifts. We would be getting solid box. Saquon would be finding his holes. Jalen would be throwing his passes better. AJ would be touching the ball more, even though, every time he has a good game, it seems we lose. So there isn't one singular person.
6'7".
And if it was a Jalen Hurts issue, he's the kind of person who would tighten himself up and he would, push himself to play better, and we would see improvement. But we have all these little shards of glass sitting everywhere behind the scenes, and they're getting hard to pick up while, the train is moving. We have to figure something out. We got to tackle small things at a time, but it's hard to do that mid-season.
Nick Sirianni could have said that better himself. But anyway, I think it's more of it's an ego issue with a lot of the players on the team. I think
that makes sense.
It's really, really big ego issue because I saw it somewhere today. I think it was Seth Joyner went off on him. Seth Joyner went off on A.J. Brown, and I heard a little bit of it, and it makes a lot of sense. The last 2 weeks, A.J. Brown has completely he's completely done fine. He's had over 100 yards. He's had a touchdown in Dallas game, 2 touchdowns last week. We haven't heard of nothing. Now, I understand that this also came right, because that's what happened last year when they played us. But anyway, A.J. Brown we had his conversation with Jeff Lurie, and he hasn't posted anything on social media. He hasn't done anything like that. But it's also been noticeable that they've kind of been forcing him the football. They've been trying to feed A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And that makes the offense really one-dimensional, especially when he gets taken away or when Jalen can't hit it.
Yeah.
And we've seen it a lot this year where either AJ's given up on the route, Jalen has just completely flat out missed him. And that's not the only receiver Jalen's missed. But it's like, they got to get it figured out to where, like, their egos aren't getting ahead of themselves. Like, you heard AJ after the Super Bowl. All right, I got the Super Bowl, but 2 days later I was still empty. I want to be the best receiver in the NFL. Dude, I'm sorry, but this team does not demand you to win. This team does not need you to be the best receiver in the NFL. This team needs you to be a team player, to go out there and block for the run game, because that's what their strength is. Their strength is running the football. And unfortunately, the offensive line has been so banged up this season that they haven't been able to run it effectively. And it doesn't really matter whether Tank Bigsby comes in or not. He's good. He's got fresh legs. But at the end of the day, if they can't create a hole big enough for him or Barkley, they're just not going to be able to run it effectively. And then the pass game is going to struggle. Now, we've seen Devontae Smith. He's stepped up big time. But I feel like that's also because, yes, A.J. Brown is such a threat still that he should look at himself in the mirror and go, you know what? Look, even if I'm not getting all the targets, even if I'm not getting all the receptions, even if I'm not getting all the yards, these teams are still doubling me in coverage to where Devontae Smith is getting one-on-one looks, and he is making absolute amazing plays every week because of it. So if they can look at it from a team aspect, I think a lot of these issues would go away. Now, Kevin Patullo, other than this week, I have not seen a single actual receiver, not a tight end, a receiver, run across the middle of the field. So that needs to happen more. Jalen Hurts has issues throwing across the middle of the field, but he's got to get over it. Like, you're a big boy now. You're in the NFL. You want a Super Bowl MVP. If you want to win another one, you have to throw the ball over the middle of the field. You have to use the whole entire field, not just the outside of the numbers.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we're in a situation here where we're getting smack talked by Steelers fans. That is the all-time low.
Yeah,
I guess.
Mooner, that gives me. Let me actually go off on this Steelers fan.
Go off on the Steelers fans.
Yeah, this is the most idiotic.
Okay, so hey,
Oh,
Steelers fan. Honestly, that year of 2008, which should have been a Pennsylvania Super Bowl, which I wish it was, we kicked the living crap out of your Steelers. And Brian Dawkins made Ben Roethlisberger look like a freaking smash burger out there, the way that he came at him and fumbled the ball because he had those weak little dinosaur arms that he had in the backfield at Lincoln Financial Field, and he made him fumble there. So, honestly, you're lucky you didn't play us in that Super Bowl. We would have taken away a Super Bowl from you guys. So, you're lucky. Second of all, too, here's the funny thing about you saying, what was the other thing? You were Le'Veon Bell had more skills than Barkley. Le'Veon Bell didn't even want to be a Steeler anymore. He didn't even want to play football anymore.
Oh, yeah, the one-hit wonder of the world.
He got the Antonio Brown disease and went off the face of the earth.
Antonio Brown disease.
That's just crazy, dude.
And then
our Super Bowls are freaking like they're flukes. Dude, we beat Tom Brady. When's the last time the Steelers have beaten Tom Brady? Dude, shut up.
That's right. Cook, KJ, Cook.
We are the Pennsylvania team of the future. You're the PA team of the past. Yeah, you and those.
But KJ, we have history, KJ.
Go behind those dusty steel curtains and go hide in the corner, you little loser.
So, just to point this out, Barkley's one good year, he won a Super Bowl. Okay?
What about Le'Veon Bell's only good year?
His one good year, where did they end up? Oh, that's right, on the couch without a ring. But and also Le'Veon Bell got his money from the Jets and then never decided to play football ever again. So we know what he was after.
And do we really think TJ Watt is better than Reggie White? I mean, bro does not know ball.
If the guy is on cocaine, then yes, probably.
Gilbert.
6 rings. How many of those were,
But gonna reel it back in.
You probably were alive for like 2 of them, buddy.
You better blow the dust off them rings if you think you're going to be rolling us, dude.
We'll reel it back in.
Patullo. Can I do one more thing on Patullo real quick?
Yes, you're good. Take it. Yeah. Speak your piece. Speak your truth.
Do you think the offense never bought into Patullo, and that's the reason that they're struggling like this?
So.
Yeah. Jalen at the beginning of the year, I believe, like it was whenever he was asked, it was kind of like it is what it is type thing. And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe it is Jalen Hurts doesn't buy in, and as a captain on the team, everybody else sees that and is like, oh, well, if the quarterback doesn't buy in, why should I buy in? But who's to know? Maybe this Hard Knocks will show us a little bit of, without really showing us like intentionally. Maybe we'll see some things and go, whoa, okay, maybe this guy's acting a little weird around Patullo, or this guy's doing this, or that guy's doing this, But yeah, who knows? But moving on now. You have a question for us?
All right. My question of the week, because we're looking really rocky right now. I don't think this is going to be like, if we do drop off, it's not going to be like the 2022 or 23 drop off where it was just unrecognizable. It's not going to be anything like that, I don't think. But let me paint a picture for you for this question. All right. The Philadelphia Eagles come up to you, KJ or Chaos Chris or Joseph, and they make you the manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, the owner, all hands on deck for, maybe a week. What are your first 3 moves that you would make? There's a lot to fix.
KJ, you go first.
That's a good question. Oh, like right now you're saying? Like,
yes. I mean, of course, of course there is a trade dedeadline, but imagine there wasn't. Imagine there wasn't. If you want to make a trade, you can try to propose a trade or,
Yeah, I would get a young corner. I mean, I would get another young corner. I would get somebody that can help out with Quignon on the other side. Get a number 2 cornerback. And, I mean, definitely I would probably I would fire Patullo. I probably would fire him at this point. Even though, I mean, he was kind of carried by the talent, I feel like, at the beginning of the season. And now it's really showing that the team and, I mean, hopefully we'll get to figure this stuff out for real with this Hard Knocks. Maybe we'll get to figure out more about this whole thing. But I don't know. But maybe it's really showing just that this interest of this team with the leadership, not really leadership, but of what Kevin Patullo has.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say. But besides that, though, I mean, and also, you know what? Get a veteran offensive lineman. I would say get a veteran offensive lineman.
That's
get
a good move.
Offensive lineman depth as well.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much.
So you're saying add another young cornerback. I mean, so Cooper DeJean isn't satisfying. I think it would be better if we had.
No, Cooper DeJean's a slot though.
I think
He's
it would
a slot. So I'm saying another cornerback too, because Cooper DeJean's a slot corner. Could he play number 2 corner? Actually, I think he probably could.
Yeah.
But I don't think Vic Fangio doesn't want to kind of make the kid confused, and I don't think he wants to kind of mess up his mojo, because I mean, like, he's already doing great, and he's not screwing up in his position right now. So why mess with something that's already working out? So I just mean you need another corner out there. They tried to, I mean, if you go back, what they're actually doing, if you go back a little bit, they tried to get Jari Alexander, but then Jari Alexander really just like went off a cliff, and God knows where the hell he is right now. I hope he's okay. But it's just really weird that he would just do that. And it sucks because we could be just using a guy who can kind of just get us over a little bit of the hump.
And he's a good veteran presence. He's got enough life in him where, he could have a few more good seasons. But all right, what's your thoughts on that, Chris?
So I got 3 moves, right?
Yeah.
That's what I got. All right. First, I cut Jake Elliott. He's lost in 2 football games. I'm dead serious. He's lost in 2 football games now. He has lost some
football games for us.
He missed a 56-yard field goal, and he missed an extra point last week, which really, really hurt them. And he did a lot last year too. He did bear down the stretch last year, but Jake Elliott's been really, really rocky. So I would go get, one of these new age kickers who can hit 65-yard field goals. They're out there. You can find them.
The modern era.
Just not Young Ho Koo. Don't get him.
Young Wei Koo, KJ.
Oh, Young Wei.
Watch
yeah. Come on, KJ.
What?
And then I think you have to figure out who the weak link the weak link is at offensive line. Who is the worst there? Is it Juergens is a problem? Is Dickerson's the problem? Is it Steen? Whatever that is, you need to replace them, and you need to get somebody who's actually talented, because that offensive line needs to be better.
Yeah.
And then along the same lines, I'm getting another blocking tight end, because Calcaterra, like I joke about it, but dude, the guy gets blown up every fucking time he's out there. And it's not like he's this huge threat to catch the football either. He's got 5 catches this year.
So
like,
but they're big catches. Like he definitely gets at least like 10 to 15 yards every time he does.
he's got 5 catches, 48 yards.
So you're only going to be changing up, player personnel and, the feet on the ground?
I mean, I don't know how much of an impact Patullo really has. Yeah, his play calling hasn't been great, but it's still Sirianni's offense going back to like Patullo is just another version of that. And Kellen Moore ran some slightly different things, but you look, it's still the same offense. The plays are called a little bit differently. I really think, though, the execution is a big difference. Like, Saquon Barkley could save you. You call a bad player to, and Saquon Barkley goes off for a 75-yard touchdown. Who cares about that misplay on first down at that point? I really don't think the plays are as bad as it seems. I feel like just the execution is so off.
Yeah.
That they ran the ball up the middle on second down.
Yeah.
So what? Last year that would have went for a 70-yard touchdown. Nobody would have said a damn thing.
Yeah.
So I do think that it's more, to me, it's more players than coaching. Is Patullo, if they continue to do this, should Patullo be back next year? No. But if you're telling me right now, I don't think firing the play caller right now makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. And plus, that would be pretty rocky mid-season, I would say, or, past mid-season. But, all right. That's understandable. What about you, Joseph? I saw you, taking a few notes.
So, look, this is my big grand scheme plan, okay? Number 1, getting on the phone there, I'm going to say, yo, Frank Reich, I see you're out at Stanford. Come here to Philly. And then I'm dialing up, hey, Kevin, pack your bags. You're done. Gone. Okay? So I'm bringing in Frank Reich, because him and Nick Sirianni, we've already heard Nick Sirianni has a great relationship with him. And I think Frank Reich has a solid offense. And I'm very upset he left in the first place in 2017 after the Super Bowl. I'm very upset about it. I hate's a strong word. I very strongly dislike the Indianapolis Colts for continually taking our offensive coordinators for their head coaching positions. Okay? So stop it. Go get somebody else's coordinators, unless you want Kevin Patullo. But secondly, you know what? He's old, and it might backfire in my face, but with this little bit of season left, he got released today. We're bringing in big play Darius Slay.
You're lucky.
Now,
You're lucky I didn't ask about this sooner. I was going to ask this.
Will he get injured every other series? Maybe. But you know what?
Tell him why, Joey.
You know what? He brings the vibes to the locker room, and he's not called big play for nothing, unfortunately. He makes some big plays when you need him. Hey, no, don't do that, because you know what? Last year in the wild card playoff game, you know who kicked it off with the interceptions? Big play Darius Slay himself. Thirdly, I'm taking A.J. Brown, and I'm taking Jalen Hurts. I'm stuffing him in a conference room in the NovaCare complex. I'm walking out, locking the door, and throwing the key away. No, not like that. But I'm walking away until those two can figure out their differences. They can come together and be teammates and leaders together on this football team. And I think that combination of those 3 things would really change this team for the better. And I think Nick Sirianni could go back to being that if we get a competent offensive coordinator that's done it before, that knows what he's doing, Nick Sirianni can go back to leading the team like he did last year and be hands-off on the offense and go, okay, you know what? Honestly, you know what? We'll throw Nick Sirianni in the room with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown so they can all 3 have a little conversation of what they need to do better and how they can come together as a team to win football games and to go back-to-back to the Super Bowl. Now, do I understand that, yes, bringing in Frank Reich and trying to install his offense with 4 games left would be a dumb idea? Yes. But you know what? I think it could potentially provide a spark. I don't think it'll happen, no. But it could provide a spark that this team needs. They need something different.
And honestly, if they lose the next 4 weeks, all right,
but still squeak in as a wild card.
But they squeak into the playoffs. If they could have, Frank Reich's offense down by playoff time, then we're fine. It don't matter if we lose the next 4 weeks. We're fine.
The question I have for you, Joey, is bringing Frank Reich. Like, I like Frank Reich a lot. How are they going to be able to learn that offense, learn the language of that offense? They're playing this weekend.
That's what I'm saying.
How are they going to learn all those plays?
Sacrifices.
It would be very, very difficult. And I don't think it would be something to where like they learn all the plays right away. I think it would be kind of, you'd have to come in, do a dumbed down version of like, all right, look, this is the basics. This is what I want to run. We'll start off with these basic plays as they, first week. It would be a tough test run. But at the same time, for the first week, it wouldn't be anything that we weren't used to seeing. It would be crappy, sucky offense. And then the second week, it would look a little bit better. And then the third week, by the time, we come in to play Washington in Washington, okay, looking a little bit better, Maybe get a little bit of more of a convincing win, because, look, the Chargers is going to be a tough game. If Herbert doesn't play, I think we have a really, really good chance of winning just because of our defense.
Yeah.
But the Raiders game, I hate to say it, but if we don't win that game, then it's like the Arizona Cardinals loss in 2023. The season's a wash. But I think we can win that game. So there we are, third game now. Well, there's 5 games left. I'm my fault. 5 games left, not 4. But we got Washington in Washington, and that would be the game where, things start to click. And then you go to Buffalo, and it's like, okay, let's see how we do against a real defense that is a championship contending defense. And I think, this team could fare pretty well. We've seen that Jalen Hurts himself steps up in the biggest moments against the biggest teams in the biggest games.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? At that point, if you win 3 out of those 4, Dallas probably isn't catching you. So you can take the last week and go, Tanner McKee, you're out there. Whoever, you're out there. Get out there, Bigsby. Get out there, Calcaterra. Offensive starters, you guys are going to take these next week and a half before the wild card, and you're going to study this playbook like the back of your hand. And when we come in 2 weeks, getting ready for the wild card game, we're going to install some good stuff, and we're going to go out and win. And you know what? I think the Eagles will be perfectly fine doing it because they're professionals, and this is what they're paid to do.
Yeah. Now,
I agree with you.
But I don't think any of this will happen.
Here's my
just to clarify.
Here's my big question for you, Joey. All right.
Big question.
At what point?
Second part of Mooner's question.
At what point do you unlock the door?
At what point do I unlock the door? So look, this is the point where I unlock the door. When Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown can sit there and look at each other and go, look,
I love you.
Whatever beef that we have personally between us, it doesn't matter on the football field. It doesn't matter in the NovaCare complex. If you want to beef and not talk to each other outside of the NovaCare, outside of the Philadelphia Eagles realm, do that. If you don't want to talk to each other on social media, whatever, I don't care. But in the complex, in the stadium, anything Philadelphia Eagles related, you're going to talk to each other, you're going to get along, and you're going to be the leaders that you both have the C on your chest for. Because you're both captains, you both have won a Super Bowl together. You guys were best friends when A.J. Brown got here in 2022. So there is no reason that you guys can't get along and lead your team the way that they need to be led. So once they can come to an agreement like, hey, you know what? We're going to put whatever is going on in between us. And you know what? A.J. Brown, get over yourself that you can't get the ball all the time. We love you, bro. And we don't ever – we do not – as Eagles fans, we do not want to see what happened with T.O. happen with A.J. Brown. And I don't think it's going that far. But I would like to see A.J. Brown here for more than just the rest of this season. I want to see him here next year and maybe the year after that. Because him and Jalen, they have a good connection when they're on. Like, being totally honest, Friday, they looked good. They looked comfortable together. And that is what we need. because, yeah, exactly. They celebrated together after the touchdowns. So
that is true. They did celebrate together.
Maybe they took my advice a little early, and maybe Nick Sirianni said, you know what, for Thanksgiving, I'm locking you two in a room, and you two are going to figure it out. And maybe they did figure it out.
And here's a turkey leg.
Yeah, maybe he gave him one turkey leg, and they had to, split it or something. And they had to, Lady and the Trampet. There was, sharing turkey in there.
Right.
Anyway.
Now we're starting to sound like Chaos
Just kidding.
Chris,
The beef is for Hard Knocks. Maybe. But I don't know.
Imagine that actually is.
I hope. I hope it is.
I swear, if AJ's just this big fucking diva for a reality TV show, I'm gonna.
He learned it from the Kardashians, so
trade him. I really hope. But it's not like this is the first year that AJ Brown's done this shit either. He's done this every year.
Yeah.
It's just
but I think
AJ.
I think it's also what we're seeing out of most receivers these days anyway. Now I will say shout out to Justin Jefferson because he has kept himself such a class act. He has not complained, he hasn't whined. I haven't seen it. I'm not a Vikings fan, so I haven't been Vikings social media and all that. But
I saw something today.
Oh, did you?
I saw something today that he wants out. Now I don't know how credible it is or anything like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't Schefter, obviously, but
okay. Well,
he's
disgruntled. I know that.
We could go back to the days with Jalen Reagor as our number one wide receiver.
Right.
All right.
And I don't want to see that because that was painful to watch. That was hard football to watch. But
they should not trade AJ Brown no matter what.
No, they should not.
They need to fucking figure it out. I'd rather them get rid of Jalen Hurts before they get rid of AJ Brown. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. But moving on to our last segment, my bold take. And it actually goes perfect with what we were just talking about. The Chargers, they have a top defense in the NFL. They're actually allowing under 200 passing yards a game. And my big, bad, bold take of the week. Oh, you like that? I like that. That was pretty good. Big, bad, bold take of the week. Say that 10 times fast. But anyway. Exactly. But my bold take is I think Jalen Hurts is going to continue what he's been doing. I think he's going to have over 225 passing yards. And I think he's going to have over 2 touchdowns. I think the Eagles offense, they're going to score over 24 points this week. And it's going to be a shocker to everybody, even myself. But I think the Eagles, I think this mini bye week or whatever you want to call it, I think they really, you know what? They were a Super Bowl team last year for a reason. Nick Sirianni was a Super Bowl winning head coach for a reason. This team is a great group of guys that they know what to do and when to do it. And until they prove me wrong, until they show me otherwise, I really think we can kind of take this loss and liken it to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game of last year where they got embarrassed in Tampa. And I think we can look at it and go, you know what? The Bears, they spanked us. They made us look like little girls out there. They made us look like a JV team. I think this offense is going to respond. I think this defense is going to respond. I think the Eagles are going to be set on a warpath. And I think it's going to start this week in Los Angeles against the Chargers. And I think they're going to utterly dominate the Chargers. Maybe with the help of no Justin Herbert. Hey, we'll take it if we can get it. But I really do think that the Eagles are going to go 24-plus points. And Jalen Hurts is going to have over 225 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris, you seem like you disagree. Why?
Because he's a hater.
They suck.
It is the definition of bold. Thank you, Jesse.
Come on, it's a bold take, Chris.
It's my big bad bold take.
It's a very, very bold take. I don't know about anything the offense has shown you over the last fucking 2 weeks. It's shown you. They're gonna.
What about 3 weeks? What do you mean? AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are back together. Okay, they're on the same page, brother.
Oh yeah, I forgot you locked him in a fucking room and hired Frank Reich.
That bold take would just be that maybe the Eagles win. But I don't know if it would be a good game by Jalen.
It is a bold take.
That's my only bold take.
I really hope they win this weekend. I do know this. If they lose this weekend, it is going to be a spiral.
It's over.
Yeah, I guess weekday.
If they lose, I'm starting off the next episode screaming and hollering about the train wreck.
Yes.
I'll be there with you.
You know what we need to do? Just put Mooner in the room by himself. He just starts screaming like a
all
banshee.
black. Yeah.
He locks me by myself in the Nova Care Center.
All
Make
right,
him scream like a
There's
band.
Go to
Fellas
Kevin
on the
Patullo's
walls.
house then.
but it is that time of week. KJ, let's get your prediction for Monday night. Let's get a score point.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I think even though with all the struggles that are going on, it's been insane. But I do feel like the Eagles do go out to LA and they do somehow win this game. So I don't know why, but I think they win this game and I think they're going to win it. I'm going to say it's going to be one of those low score games again. I'm going to say 21-18. The Eagles win 21-18.
On
That's
a
what
Jake Elliott made field goal at the end of the game?
That Chris would have cut.
No. That's not what it is, but 21. No, it'd be 3 touchdowns. So,
Okay.
but that's what I think. Yeah. No,
Chaos.
a Chargers kicker will make some kicks. So,
What about
One
you,
thing
Chaos?
about-
What's your score
One
prediction?
thing about Eagles fans in LA is they
Oh, no.
always show up. They always take over that stadium. And
Yep.
do you know what the Eagles are going to do? Completely embarrass all of them.
Ugh.
And the Chargers are going to win 28-17. And 7 of those 17 points the Eagles score are going to be off a pick 6 from Cooper Eugene.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta be honest, that is probably the most realistic take I've heard so far. Oh, that's
What's your prediction, Mooner?
Now, look, I don't want to. Look, I'm gonna say this with pride, or not necessarily pride. There ain't no pride coming into this, but I'm gonna say this with hope. That I think the Eagles are gonna win, and I think that there's gonna be a point in the game where you're watching it and you're like, oh my gosh, we are going to lose this game, but we're going to pull out either way. Or, oh my gosh, we're going to blow this lead again. Or, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to come back. Whatever it is, there's going to be a bleak moment and we're going to push through it somehow. I really hope. I got to say my guess, I don't want to copy KJ. I mean, I would guess like 20-17, but maybe it's a little bit higher of the game, like 24-21. It's going to be uncomfortably close. Unreasonably close. So, what are you thinking, Joseph?
Alrighty. Well, look, you guys are the realists here, okay? I'll say that. Because, look, I'm still on the Go Birds train. I'm still on the woo, we're the best team in the NFL train. I'm not backing down until it's over because the fat lady hasn't sung. Only Jordan Mailata has, and he's not a lady.
yep.
But anyway, no, I really do think the Eagles are going to figure it out this week. I really do. As much as everybody's been hating on Kevin Patullo, and even though I just said I would fire him, I did like some of the things I saw, like passing-wise over the middle offensively last week. And if they can replicate some of that, I think this could be a little bit of a turning point in the season. I think we can bounce back and get geared up and ready to go before the playoffs. Like, we do have all of December and the first week of January to get it figured out because we are in a pretty good spot. And I think if we can manage to win a couple more games, I think it starts with this one. The Chargers, they've kind of been – they're not – like, I don't want to say they're great. They're not because they started off the season hot, but as of late, it's kind of been a flip-flop whether they'd win or not. So – and with the uncertainty of Justin Herbert even playing, Trey Lance might be starting. I think it's a favorable matchup for the Eagles. Like Chris highlighted, the Eagles, their fans travel well. Our fans travel well. We're going to take that stadium over, and unfortunately – I don't agree with you, Chris. I think we're going to embarrass the Los Angeles Chargers. I think it's going to be a 31-17 game, almost like the Eagles-Bengals last year, where like they literally same score, where they just figured it out, and it was like, oh, okay, that game didn't feel like it was that far apart, but yeah, we won. We're that guy. We're that team, and I really do think that Jalen Hurts is going to step up when he needs to. I think A.J. Brown's been back on it for the past couple of weeks. He's starting to feel himself. I think he's starting to realize, okay, even though I haven't had the greatest season so far, I can still contribute to my team. And I think Saquon Barkley, it's time for him to break out. I think he will a little bit. Not crazy, but he might get 100 yards this week. and we're going to look pretty good, I think. And defensively, Vic Fangio is at them players' necks. You think, like, don't get me wrong, the Chargers just ran all over their opponent last week when Herbert went down. I don't see that happening this week.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not. Vic Fangio is not going to let that happen.
Yeah,
that's the biggest difference between this team and the 2023 team is we have Vic Fangio as our defensive coordinator, and whoever Sean Desai or Matt Patricia, whoever it was in 2023, they do not have the kahunas. They do not have the wherewithal. They don't have the experience that Vic Fangio has, and Vic Fangio is not going to let his team go out there and get dismantled like that again.
Yeah,
I understand it is preparation and it is ultimately on the execution of the players, but I know he's not going to have his guys go set up for failure out there. And I know those guys, they play hard for him and their team. They're not going to go out there and just get rolled over again this week.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction is the Eagles 31, the Chargers 17. But other than that, we do want to thank you guys. Thank you, Chaos Chris. Thank you, KJ, both for joining us tonight for the 15th episode of Under the Wing podcast. KJ, are you guys doing a Sixers post game tonight? They're playing right now, right?
Yeah, we just won actually.
They did just win 121-102. So
they beat the Wizards, so I'll take it, even though it's the Wizards. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a post game. I'm doing the graphics right now, so
lit.
Multitasking.
Then tune into the Sixers 302 Sixers post game with our boy KJ and Dennis tonight. Not sure, we're probably say what, like 9:45ish, 10.
Yeah, and Jesse as well too.
Oh, and Jesse, okay, Jesse from Philly
PSP,
Sports Pulse.
baby.
And then we'll see them tonight. So check them out. The Sixers big win tonight over the Wizards. Tomorrow night at 8:05, we have 302 Birds main show. Check them out. They're going to deep dive even more into the Bears, Kevin Patullo, all that kind of stuff. Check up on the Flyers, some other stuff like that. And then Thursday, 7 o'clock-ish, I believe. I'm not sure if he's still in the comments. Jesse, if you can correct me, 7 o'clock-ish, 7:05, I believe, is when Philly Sports Pulse comes on with Jesse and I believe it's his buddy Adam.
Yeah, Adam. Yep.
Adam, okay. They really do bring some good content. They bring some good insight on some things. And it's a really good show. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. It's really, really good. Philly Sports Pulse, also powered by 302 Birds. So just a big shout out in general, just to 302 Birds and Dalton and everything, we get to do here. But other than that, guys, we appreciate you for watching. Have a great rest of your night and go Birds.
Go Birds, dickhead.
Birds.
Yes, sir.
This is for you.
Alex fans don't know what these are.
Gets it, Saquon Barkley. First down. Barkley.